Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Young and Restless preview. Lily meets with Daniel and did, spoiler, just have a heart attack. In a Young and Restless preview for the week of June 17 to 21, what is Faith up to? Read on for the details and watch the video below. Well, it looks like the time has come for Johnny and Katie to meet their newest sibling, who they'll be surprised is older than them. Billy looks on as Victoria says, "Kids, I would like you to meet your sister Claire." How will they react? After Daniel broke Lily's heart by reuniting with Heather, Lily looked to retaliate by potentially firing Heather and taking control of Daniel's Omega Sphere project. Coming up in the park, Daniel says to Lily, "You came. I wasn't sure if you would." Lily replies, "Well, I hope it wasn't a mistake." What could Daniel possibly want? At Sharon's place, Faith tells Maria and Tessa, "You're just in time. Mom and Dad are just about to tell me their whole love story." Nick, with Sharon, asks, "We are. Is Faith trying to work her magic and reunite her parents?" Finally, in Paris, Audra made it clear to Tucker that she was done with him, and she wanted to take over Glissade. He actually offered to give it to her in hopes they could mend their relationship, but she dropped the bomb that she had a backing investor and convinced the board to turn the company over to her. That investor turned out to be none other than Victor Newman. Coming up in his suite, Tucker, during the video board meeting, says he's having trouble breathing. Elsewhere on her laptop, Audra gawps. What the hell? Back in Tucker's suite, Anne comes over to help McCall, who collapses on the floor. In the bustling world of Genoa City, where secrets are as plentiful as the stars and every glance holds 1,000 unspoken words, the tension was palpable. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee from Crimson Lights mingled with the scent of summer rain, adding to the dramatic atmosphere. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow across the town, the stage was set for a series of events that would leave everyone on the edge of their seats. Lily Winters, the epitome of grace and resilience, walked with a purposeful stride towards society. Her mind was a whirlwind of thoughts, each one more complex than the last. She had agreed to meet Daniel Romalotti, a man whose past was as tangled with hers as a tightly knit tapestry. Their history was rich with shared moments of joy, heartache, and everything in between. Today, however, the reunion was shadowed by a sense of urgency and the weight of unsaid words. Inside the elegant restaurant, Daniel sat at a secluded table, his fingers drumming a silent rhythm on the polished surface. He was lost in thought, his gaze fixed on the door as he awaited Lily's arrival. His mind was a carousel of memories, some sweet, others bitter. The news he had to share with Lily was not something he looked forward to, but it was necessary. Life had a way of throwing curveballs, and this was one he hadn't seen coming. The door swung open and Lily entered, her presence commanding attention. She spotted Daniel immediately, their eyes locking in a silent greeting. As she approached, Daniel stood up, offering a small, tentative smile. They embraced briefly, the hug both comforting and laden with the unspoken promise of a difficult conversation ahead. "Daniel," Lily began as they took their seats, "it's been too long." "Yeah, it has," he replied, his voice tinged with nostalgia. "I'm glad you came." Lily nodded, sensing the gravity in his tone. "What's going on, Daniel? You sounded urgent on the phone." He sighed, running a hand through his hair. "It's about my mom, Phyllis. She's been having some health issues, and I'm worried." Lily's eyes widened with concern. "Is she okay?" "She's been having chest pains," Daniel explained, his expression troubled. "She refuses to go to the hospital, but I'm scared it might be serious. I don't know what to do." Lily reached out, placing a reassuring hand on his. "We'll figure this out, Daniel. We always do." Meanwhile, across town at Newman Enterprises, Victor Newman sat in his office, exuding an air of authority and control. He had built an empire from the ground up, and nothing happened in Genoa City without his knowledge. Today, however, his thoughts were elsewhere. The recent developments with his children, Adam and Victoria, had been troubling. Their rivalry was reaching new heights, and it was tearing the family apart. Victor's musings were interrupted by the sudden ringing of his phone. He glanced at the caller ID and saw it was Nikki, his wife. He answered immediately, sensing urgency in her call. "Victor," Nikki's voice trembled. "It's Jack Abbott. He collapsed at Jabbit. They think it might be a heart attack." Victor's heart skipped a beat. Despite their long-standing rivalry, Jack Abbott was a formidable opponent and at times a reluctant ally. The thought of him in such a vulnerable state was unsettling. "I'll be right there," Victor said, already moving towards the door. He instructed his assistant to clear his schedule and made his way to Memorial Hospital, where Jack had been taken. At the hospital, the atmosphere was tense. Doctors and nurses moved with practiced urgency, their faces masks of calm efficiency. Victor found Nikki in the waiting area, her face etched with worry. She rushed into his arms, seeking solace in his strength. "Any news?" Victor asked, his voice soft but firm. Nikki shook her head. "They're still running tests. I can't believe this is happening." Victor held her close, his mind racing. Jack Abbott was a pillar of the community, and his sudden health scare would send ripples throughout Genoa City. But more than that, it was a stark reminder of their own mortality, a reality Victor rarely allowed himself to contemplate. Back at Society, Lily and Daniel continued their conversation, unaware of the drama unfolding at the hospital. They reminisced about their past, their laughter tinged with the melancholy of lost time. But the shadow of Phyllis's condition loomed large, and Daniel's worry was palpable. "I don't know what I'd do if something happened to her," Daniel confessed, his voice breaking slightly. Lily squeezed his hand. "We'll get her the help she needs, Daniel. She's a fighter, just like you." As the evening wore on, the threads of their lives intertwined once more, creating a tapestry of hope, fear, and unyielding determination. In Genoa City, the young and restless navigated the turbulent waters of their existence, each moment a testament to their resilience and the